Hello friends, my name is Leigh. I talk about photography, gear, and how to get the most out of it. Today, I'm talking with my partner in photography and in life, the world famous Raymond, about how he's gearing up for a very special and unique photo shoot. We're going to talk about the specific pieces of gear that we will be using and exactly why we've made these choices. First, the background.
Before I even met Leigh, she and I were both running around with cameras, and I was shooting a lot of weddings. One wedding in particular was truly amazing for a lot of reasons, and it was, in my view, the quintessential Phoenix, Arizona wedding. I'm not going to show you photos from that. That is the bride and groom's private day, and I was fortunate to be there capturing it. And since that wedding in 2006, the happy bride and groom have had 5 children. Recently, they reached out because they had misplaced some of the photo material from their wedding. Always want to have backups, even from jobs in 2006. I was able to get them everything that they needed, and it felt good to deliver for them on that. No one loses anything on purpose, and I was glad to do it. And as we got to talking, we all thought it would be a great idea to get together and take photos of their whole, much larger family at the same spot that I originally took their engagement photos so many years ago.
Let me interrupt Raymond's story with a quick thank you to the sponsor of this portion of the video and a longtime supporter of this channel, KEH. I want to read you the beginning of their About Us portion of their website. We're camera people. The original curator and reseller of rare and quality camera gear, KEH has always envisioned a better way to support the passion and profession of photography. We're proud to be the community's choice for gear that goes further. Field tested, expert graded, sustainable, exchangeable, KEH approved. I love that because it's exactly how I think of them. I've been working with them for several years and I've been a customer for even longer. And every person that I've talked to there has been so nice, which aside from their, great service, is a huge reason why I won't go anywhere else. Anyway, you can buy all sorts of gear on the site. You can get a free estimate to sell your gear there. And they even have on-ground special buying events around the country where you can walk in, bring in your gear, and walk out with a check. In fact, they'll be in my area next month, and you can bet that I'm going to be stopping by. I do have links for you to buy or sell your gear to them, as well as codes in the description to get a discount when you purchase. Using those affiliate links and codes helps support me in continuing to create free content here. So thank you to those of you that use those links. And of course, thank you to KEH for being an amazing partner to Leigh and Raymond Photography. I'm looking forward to meeting them and doing the shoot. It will certainly be a challenge with 7 people, 5 of whom are kids. Raymond and I did spend a lot of time talking about which gear to bring. We decided to use some of our Nikon gear, but the type of gear that we're using is available for our L-mount system, or if you're shooting Canon or Sony or Fujifilm or virtually any other brands, our setup can be duplicated. I do have to ask you, Raymond, what did you shoot with for their 2006 wedding?
Easy one. I had the Nikon D2X, D70, and D50 bodies. And my workhorse lenses were the first generation 70-200 f2.8, the 17-55 f2.8 DX, and my assistant was working with a D50 with both the 50mm f1.8 D lens and that 18-55 variable aperture kit lens that came with the D50.
So what are your choices for the 2023 shoot? I know that Raymond personally is most comfortable with Nikon just out of habit, so that's why I know that you went in that direction, and I can't blame you at all.
Interesting question, because the more things change, the more things stay the same. My D2X, which became our D2X, gave way to some other F-mount cameras, but now the Z9 mirrorless body will lead this shoot for me. Primary lens choice may be a little bit different than the engagement and wedding photos because it's the bride and groom and all of their kids now. I expect to be leaning heavily on the Nikon 24-70 f2.8 Z lens, probably stopping down the aperture to f4 or narrower, depending on how we pose everyone. We may be working with rows of people with that many kids, so we want everyone to be in focus, and that may mean a narrower aperture and higher ISO than if we were just shooting a couple of people. We can slow down the shutter speed to a point to help compensate for that narrower aperture, but there are 5 kids, so we're basically shooting wildlife at that point, so we will want to keep that shutter speed higher than we normally might.
Okay, what other gear? I know we are bringing more than that.
Okay, I need you with the Z7 and the 70-200 f2.8. The Z7 is a smaller, older body than the Z9, but it works great. And with opportunities to get shots of the kids individually and the lovely couple by themselves, that's a great lens to shoot from a distance, zoom in, shoot f2.8, and get sharp focus with a blurry background. And 2 more things we both agree to have handy are the 85mm f1.8 Viltrox brand Z lens and their wonderful 50mm f1.8 Z lens as well. I like to get the safe expected shots with the zooms for the most speed and flexibility and composing and working, but those primes are for the special off-the-cuff moments that will inevitably occur where we want the sharpness of primes with the creamy bokeh or out-of-focus highlights that we all crave.
That's a practical setup, and it sounds a little bit like I'm going to be more involved than I originally realized, but that's fine. And I'm excited to meet them and to work with them. Raymond, I still think, though, that you're bringing 1 or 2 other things that you haven't mentioned yet.
You're right. Of course we are. We are going to be working around a landmark building in the late afternoon, and we are in Phoenix, so it's almost always sunny. That's good, but you've got to balance the light then. That's very important. We'll have a few SB800 speed lights and a collapsible reflector to manage lighting. And in addition to that, we'll have our best, fastest memory cards, spare batteries, maybe even a film camera with some Tri-X 400, but that will be a game time decision. The Z9 and the Z7 are going to be the star of the show.
Now, there's some time between filming this video and the actual portrait shoot, so I know that Raymond's going to change his mind a few times, but that's a part of our process. The most important thing that I hear from Raymond is that he's shooting the gear that he is most practiced with. And one thing I know about him is that if he's relaxed and in a groove, his subject will be as well. If he's stressing or concerned about something, the pictures might not be as good. And now, I'd like to hear from you all. What do you think of Raymond's choices? Would you do something different? And Raymond's shoot is unique, literally the continuation of a shoot that is spanning generations. Have you ever done something like that? Or something different or unusual for a family when it comes to photography? Let us know down in the comments. And thank you for watching.